All right, welcome back, folks. FACEIT LAN Finals here in Milan, Italy. We're going to map 4. Quite possibly, if Fnatic pulls this out, it's all over. They win it 3-1. But again, we talked about a little bit a Nuke. Got to play both sides, as you always say. You know, even if you get down, it's not over yet. But that being said, it can be very much a psychological handicap if you do get thrashed as a terrorist, and you know if you have to start that side. So, if any of the teams can handle that being behind, would be a Fnatic over an iBUYPOWER, I would think, on that comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume Fnatic are stronger mentally if it goes to that. But what we're really talking about earlier is that Fnatic doesn't really play Nuke. They played it only a handful of times ever with this roster. And even going back a year, they probably played it less than 10 times in matches. They probably practiced a couple more times. But what that means is they really rely on their CT side, because the CT side is just so easy on Nuke in comparison to T side. So let's say iBUYPOWER surprisingly gets, say, 5 rounds on T side. I think it's basically over, unless Fnatic gets the pisser on their terrorist side. So I think for Fnatic, they have to play an almost flawless CT side. That's how they win this. They can always win a couple T side rounds with just individual skill, but if both of these teams win their CT pisser rounds, it could really get ugly. Both of them could easily get 12, 13 rounds on their defensive half.
Yeah, because of the fact I expect Fnatic to be strong on the CT side, that's where I am concerned if I'm iBUYPOWER, actually, because on their T sides, what's given them strength in this tournament on Dust 2 Inferno has been Skadoodle AWPing on T sides. When he's been able to really get that rolling, that's when they can open up the map, they can get rounds there. It's going to be very hard to use the AWP on T side of Nuke. Like we've seen only players like Kenny S, and even they don't buy it every single time. Like it's hard to make it work, so what are they going to go with otherwise? They haven't really shown us that they're a really good execution team. They're quite scrimmy, they're kind of just pulling things out, trying to do crazy things. A lot harder to do that on Nuke as well. You really want tight executes, you want fast pushes. I'm not really sure if they're going to have that in their arsenal, okay? So if they win, I'll give them a lot of props. Like, they'll be a very commendable win, but I'm not seeing it at the moment.
Yeah, like I said before the previous map, I think I'm actually on Fnatic's side almost on Nuke, just because of that. iBUYPOWER is so streaky on their T side. DaZeD likes to call on the fly. They don't have a lot of executes. They don't have a lot of set strats, and that's how you have to play Nuke, unless you just win a lot of aim duels. And even if it comes down to, say, 2v2s, 3v3s, after plan type situations, I'm going to favor Fnatic on those. And one more problem to add on top of that is DaZeD, the in-game leader of iBUYPOWER, has had a couple poor maps now in a row. And earlier on in the tournament, that's been one of the main strengths of iBUYPOWER, in my opinion, is that their in-game leader has been one of their best players. And, you know, if he continues playing poorly, I think that's also going to affect his calling, because he's usually one of the point guys on their team. So when he's playing well, he's one of the guys who's going to be getting the entry kills that allow them to get into the sites and allow Skadoodle to set up to those spots where he gets the kills. So I think if his struggles continue, so will iBUYPOWER's.
Yeah, the thing is, normally it's like a stereotype that you're allowed to not have many frags if you're the in-game leader. But the problem is, he actually has like kind of a selfish style of in-game leading. Like, he actually sets the round up so that he can be successful as well. And when it works, yeah, they're going to roll over people completely, because even the in-game leader's dominating you now. He's had a couple of bad maps, and also for iBUYPOWER, I feel like they felt so confident on Inferno. Like, we could take that map from them. So to lose in the fashion they did it's going to be a hit to them. And you want to see, like, can they regroup mentally? I don't know.
Do they have the eye of the tiger? We shall see. Again, $20,000 first place. $10,000, one of these teams is taken no matter what for second place. That being said, map 4, Nuke, Fnatic, iBUYPOWER. This time, red eye and nothing. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thanks very much. Yes, Mr. Jordan Gilbert joining us at the commentary desk during the grand final. Thank you very much for having us back on the show again. It was good to have you before. Lots of props out there for people saying how great you were yesterday, so you've got a lot to live up to today.
Yeah, I just got to deepen my voice a little bit here.
Really, go talk a bit lower.
People can't handle my childlike voice. But yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm going to annoy you guys a little bit for one more map, so thanks for having me.
And we've got Nuke, which we haven't seen so far. Plenty of fans outside as well.
I'm curious to see who's going to get the CT side first, because they both have good CT sides, and I've heard they both have bad T sides. I mean, I know iBUYPOWER has a bad T side. Not sure about Fnatic these days, but definitely going to be big for who gets CT.
Yeah, we're going to go into the knife round right now, and there aren't many more important knife rounds than there are on Nuke. And iBUYPOWER, I get the feeling now, because after, as Duncan said, 2 bad maps in a row for their in-game leader, 2 bad maps in a row for them, I can't help but feel that if they want to get anything out of this final, As Pronax
drive-by.
gets the first one, that was a bit of a drive-by knife, wasn't it? Oh dear, look, it's a 1v3 over here as well. How did he get isolated down there?
They're in all parts of the map.
Run
right
away! DaZeD has got his best impression of Forrest Gump going on,
This is awesome.
and that's not going to work at all, is
Run,
it? Oh my
Forrest,
dear!
run.
Oh dear! That's not gone well
Jay
at all.
Wonderchild's showing that he can get knives in more than just the knife rounds. If you watch the last map, he got a couple
he
knife
did.
frags, didn't he?
But yeah, going back to the point is that I felt like iBUYPOWER needed to start CT side on Nuke for them to kind of build up a bit of momentum, get a nice lead going into the second half, build some confidence going up. Look at them.
Look at the huddle. Camaraderie is developing. I wonder what the thing is here. Is to make sure all of our hands touch. Fnatic on 3. There it is. Fnatic on 3.
Yeah.
So the gun's here. So
Brilliant. Good fun from Fnatic. I like that a lot.
yeah, it's important in these finals to keep the mood light.
Yeah, but now, of course, they've lost the knife round, so they have to start T side. So they're going to have a really strong T side
Huge
for this
first
to
3
not
rounds.
for this to not get away from them, because it's easy to lose it on Nuke. It's easy to fall behind 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 13 rounds suddenly have gone by, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, we haven't won any rounds. We need something.
Yeah.
So here we go. Grand final of FACEIT League Season 2. Live from the Milan Games Week. Final day, final game. And already Olof getting us
Through the
underway.
smoke, I think.
Through the smoke with a headshot. And remember, Fnatic 2-1 up. They need this map and they will win the championship here in Season 2. Virtus.pro, of course, were the defending champions. They went out in the semi-finals. So we will have a new champion. Olof just laying down a little bit more fire as they do try and push ramp, and all 4 of them are down there. Olof retreating back. They still haven't managed to pick him off. I don't know how, because he was busy reloading in the middle of that. And finally AZK gets the kill, and they exchange a few more frags. Bomb planted here. Pressure back on.
Another knife coming.
Fnatic to get down there, and Skadoodle, well, he picked up 1, but he's not going to get the last 2, and Fnatic will open up with a round win. But Olof I mean, he got the first kill through the smoke and then just annoyed the hell out of them for about what seemed like a minute.
And at first I thought he kind of made a mistake not getting that reload off. You saw he had 7 bullets only down there when he was in the dark spot. So big round there. Great rotate by Fnatic to get down to vents quick and stop iBUYPOWER in their tracks. So are we going to see a force buy? Nope. iBUYPOWER is staying pretty humble here. A couple P250s. Maybe go for the 3rd round buy, possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, got the bomb plant. Let's see whether they can get a second one. If they do, then I'm pretty sure we'll definitely see a 3rd round buy. Might even see one anyway. Depends how many kills they get out of this. They've looked to open up outside. Meanwhile, JW has got a short range mag 7
That
kill.
is his bread and butter, it seems, on this map.
Likes that. Oh, and still got a face full of that mag as he went through the door. JW gets a 3rd. And that weapon has definitely paid for itself, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've seen him many times in online games keep that gun throughout the half. He'll have 10K in his inventory, and he's mag 7ing top hut. So we'll see if he decides to do that this half. He's already got the AWP. He's going to go for some outside picks. iBUYPOWER with the force buy here. I would assume that they're going to either set up a wall of smokes, try to get down secret, or do a late ramp strat. So we'll see.
There's
looks
not
like
a
the
lot
wall
in
of
there.
smokes.
Yeah, they only have a couple. Here they go. Pushing the outside. Skadoodle in an advanced position at 2nd box.
Luckily, it looks like JW is opting ramp, if I can see correctly.
Difficult to see from where we are. We're a long way away from our monitor, it has to be said.
I think that's actually kind of fortunate for them that JW isn't opting outside. This might give iBUYPOWER the opportunity to get a couple trades and get down that secret, which is what they want on this round. Nice close range battles.
Still nothing doing. 50 seconds remaining. The start of something from DaZeD, but it's not going to be successful as KRiMZ picks him off. Still replying back. KRiMZ gets a 2nd. KRiMZ really has been fantastic all 3 days.
JW's up in floor. Interesting.
Wow. And it works nicely. 2 out of 2 for JW.
There's not many operas in the world who you would just say, we're going to set him on floor of upper nukes. I mean, maybe Kenny S, maybe Skadoodle in the opposition there, but not many that you would even want to.
Yeah, I was actually going to say 2 out of 3 in this particular match might do that, but there aren't many, you're right. Olofmeister finishing things off. So 3-0 lead on a forced by round 3 from iBUYPOWER. So this looks like it might just be 4-0. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Jordan. Nuke is like this. If you lose T-side pistol,
you blink.
And you kind of miss a few rounds and then it becomes 7 or 8, and it can easily get away from you.
You know what I haven't seen yet this tournament is teams utilizing the 1 timeout per map rule, and I think that would be wise of iBUYPOWER if they go down 8-0.
Yeah, you're right. Haven't seen any of it.
To utilize that 1 timeout.
Seeing something a little bit different this time round. It's like they're going to try and pressure radio. There's 3 in there, and all pushing towards ramp. This was what we saw in the opening round, of course, during the pistols, but Olofmeister, well, if you force him into anything, he'll just pick you off easy as you like, and he got 3 in the round. Straightforward defense from Fnatic on ramp, and that's 4-0.
Curious to see where iBUYPOWER is going to prod. Still early in the half. I'd like to see them take some risks here. They know JW's opping. Actually, now it's flusha's opping. Well, they know they have an op, so they're going to probably try to avoid that as much as possible once they find out where he's at.
JW's got himself a stolen AK.
Quick upper strat, I like this.
Haven't seen anything so far. It's going to be a squeaky rush. 2 through the door. KRiMZ picks up the first one. JW drops down behind and picks up 3 in a row. No problem at all. And KRiMZ now looking for the last one. He knows he's in hut, and he knows he's probably backing away. Still, who's the last man to fall? Well, the squeaky rush didn't work either, and they're starting to run out of ideas.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. It's in this game with the flashes aren't as potent, it seems, as 1.6, so you really need to make sure they're timed well with you coming out that squeaky door. Otherwise, that guy above the hut's going to do exactly what JW just did.
Yep. I mean, usually, if we're going to see a squeaky push of any kind, not so much the rush, obviously, but any other kind of squeaky, you want to be flashing in through the glass at the top of the building, but that's not really that much popular anymore. I don't really see much of that.
Yeah, well, when you're going quick like that, it's really tough if you want to utilize those front spawns. Because if you want him to flash, he's definitely going to be taken out of the rush momentarily.
Yeah.
We see JW doing JW things here in the hut with an AWP. Knowing they're not outside, he's going to stay there in the hut probably and keep trying to get a pick because he knows he's going to find one. His team's letting him know they're not outside yet.
Yeah, they are going to push outside any moment now. pronax and flusha are both waiting for them. flusha down at red, pronax up on high. Here is flusha. They've got 1 apiece so far. flusha with another one. So 2 remaining. Swag and AZK. Fnatic with a 5-0 lead. And I have to say, iBUYPOWER, after winning that first map on Dust 2, where they looked fantastic, have not looked any good since, it has to be said. But now, maybe they can change something up a little bit here. Swag and AZK make it a 2v2. JW now trying to land shots. KRiMZ picks off 1. There's only 1 man remaining. And JW, with a quick scope in on AZK, finishes it off. Here's the JW 3-door squeaky kill. 1 after the other. Drops down. Picks up 2 in a row. There's the 3rd. Almost had the 4th.
That lineup, though.
Yeah, lined up perfectly, didn't they? Just sort of wandered across his crosshair. Thanks very much, 3 kills.
So this is interesting. They keep throwing the op back and forth between flusha and JW. We'll see where flusha's outside right now. JW looks like he's going to get aggressive on the hut again.
That's really annoying to play against as well, because you're never quite sure whether he's going to warp, and if he is going to warp, where is he going to warp? Is he going to be outside? Is he going to be ramp? Is he going to be upper?
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know.
Especially with a player like JW, you literally never know.
And, well, they've managed to make a 3-man push towards Volcano Stairs, and, well, that hasn't really worked at all either, is it? KRiMZ is going to polish off DaZeD, and that'll leave Swag and AZK again on their own. This time they have 4 Fnatic players to find, and I did say, don't blink, because you might miss a few rounds. If they win this one, it's 7-0. And they are just 9 away from taking the title. Oh, KRiMZ.
Really?
Dear me. Quite sure what AZK is doing.
I couldn't tell, though. He might have been looking up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is a tough thing for iBUYPOWER because, you know, you can have an upper hit, you can have a ramp hit, you can have an outside hit, but unless you really know how to pull one part of the map and then hit the other, it's really hard. And I don't think iBUYPOWER's really ever had that strong of a T side, and especially in America, the way that you kind of develop your T side, I think is different. You don't see this dynamic of a defense in America like Fnatic's presenting. So it's going to be a tough task for. I don't see iBUYPOWER getting more than 3 rounds this half, unless somehow they're able to win some tight clutches.
I mean, right now I don't see him winning any.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to come from. I haven't seen anything so far that would convince me that there's something that they could probably make work if they get a bit luckier, or if they get a couple of early picks, or anything really. Yeah, I mean, they've got to get something. They're just not having any joy whatsoever. Nothing on ramp, nothing through radio, nothing through squeaky, nothing outside, nothing on stairway at the back. They might get a little bit lucky on JW here. He's down to 19. And sort of throws a defensive flash, but that's not going to be the location they come from. Instead, pronax is sat in my personal favourite position in upper Nuke right now. And if they don't check up when they come through the door, he might get himself a hatful of kills.
Yeah, this is looking real good for Fnatic right here. iBUYPOWER guys are very low. This is going to be a hard round to win unless somehow Skadoodle is able to get a pick with that op at ramp, and maybe they could open that up a little bit. Leave maybe a lurker hut. But if they try to hit anything without a pick, it's going to be very tough.
Well, 35 seconds or so remaining.
And Olof knows once that molly fades, he's just probably going to...
They're going to run, and he knows it as well. He's lining it all up nicely, backs away from the first one after landing the shot. And doesn't get the second one. Now AZK's got himself one, but 22 seconds remaining. They've got to run as fast as they can to get down that ramp and get that bomb planted.
Steel's a key player here if he could pick up a flank kill, but they know. Somehow they know.
Oh, wow, and he only had 5 health as it was. JW now low, AWPing through doors. KRiMZ making it a 3v3. Bomb about to be planted, and they've managed to get it down now. Can they win the round? KRiMZ back with a CZ75. AZK with 14 health. Swag with 36. They've got 50 between them. And 3 men to find. Make that 2. AZK short range couldn't land the shot. And KRiMZ doubles up with the 75 again.
I couldn't see KRiMZ's POV there, but I'm assuming that kill on Swag was a pretty nice shot. Very unfortunate right there. And earlier on the flank that we saw with Steel, I think if he would have chose just to go down the vent, he would have had a free kill, but you never can know that. He probably assumed someone was watching the lurk, so...
Well,
big round by Fnatic there to basically...
I'll take it back from what I said from the previous round, because I did say I haven't seen anything yet that would warrant any kind of hope for them, but that was a little bit of hope, so... Maybe they can push up a push ramp and get that bomb planted, but 8-0, still no reply from the North Americans. Fading fast in this game as JW lands an outside AWP shot. Can he get a second? Not quite.
He's looking like he will get a second, though, because they don't have many smokes up outside.
Oh, my goodness.
He's firing away. That's what he does.
Funny, isn't it? You see that? We can see it lined up. They can't. Brilliant shot back from DaZeD, though. Lovely headshot in a very tight, confined space as well. Now, KRiMZ lining up. He's got flusha across from him, who's got very little health. 2, in fact. Opportunity here for iBUYPOWER, but they've got to be careful because KRiMZ is going to line them right up. And he gets 1, gets 2. Actually, flusha stole that one away, but he'll get the last of the round. And Fnatic are absolutely tearing iBUYPOWER apart.
And KRiMZ finishing it off there with the CZ. It must be nice to have 2 primary weapons in your inventory. Wow.
I did say yesterday, because I AWP. I love playing with the AWP. And having the CZ now means I've got an AWP and an AK with me. It's kind of nice.
Dude, it's incredible, actually. Especially close range. When you play like JW, that's why he does that. We're going to see it again probably this round right now.
Yeah, you fire one off, and if you miss, well, you've still got your mini AK with you. It's great.
Yeah, it's especially close range. It's almost got an advantage versus an AK because of the fire rate.
Yep.
So, rate of fire.
Outside push once more from iBUYPOWER. They are trying to get to the secret stairs, and well, actually, that's reasonably successful because they've done a lot of damage. And they might just get an entry here. They have. KRiMZ now reloads. Oh my goodness. Nearly got caught short there with a smoke in his hand, but got a double. And really, he shouldn't have had that. That should have been an iBUYPOWER entry and a kill. Olof makes it 3. DaZeD, Swag, all on them for the first round of the half. Lovely shot again from KRiMZ. That's 3 in the round from him. And he really has been fantastic. Can't emphasize that enough. But double from Swag, who's also been equally impressive in patches this weekend. Can't get the last though. 10-0 Fnatic before. And 5 rounds till the half. iBUYPOWER. What do you reckon, Jordan? They need at least 3, right?
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I mean,
where do they get it from?
Even
though?
if I was
That's
in their
the biggest
shoes,
question,
I don't know
isn't
what
it?
I would say, because
Really?
I've been in this position, and it is tough to
That was
know.
going to be my next question. Was like, come on, tell me, what would you do at this point?
Well, that's the thing is like generally you could try to use less nades early and kind of see if they make a mistake, and then try to look for random picks at ramp or something. But,
Double smokes at ramp. Olof
early
again.
on, going ramp like they're doing right now is going to be tough because they're going to run into so many things.
Yeah.
At least they got out without too much damage taken. They might be able to get one here under the ladder and even it up.
Yeah, Olofmeister just backing away. He's trying to check from the lower ramp area.
Smart
Pronax
nade there
is
by
also
Pronax.
slowed it down, stopped them getting to heaven as well. But they do have control of this ramp room. What can they do from it though? That's the question.
Yeah, they have no lurker. They're all there. They're really looking for the pick, and right here, Skadoodle looks like something's about to go down. Olofmeister on the wall, just on the other side.
Any moment now, all hell is going to break loose in this lower bomb site. flusha waiting by window. Olofmeister at the bottom of second ramp here. Picks up one. He's already got 2 in the round. Can't get another one though. And Swag now on it. flusha, well, didn't get the best of connections to start with, but picked up 1. And now we're at 2v2. Skadoodle now with AWP in hand, facing JW on the ramp, the backside! And the eye-to-eye is won by the Wunderkind yet again. And Fnatic now have a 1v2 advantage. Both of their players very low on health. Chance here for Swag to go huge. Has already got himself a couple of kills in the round. Needs 2 more. 1 on ramp, 1 above him. If they attack at the same time, he's going to kick down, but he's got 1. Bomb ticking away here, and the second as well.
Big round
a
from Swag
4-man from Swag finally delivers iBUYPOWER around.
And that's Swag's specialty right there, dancing around different objects, using his ability to isolate the enemy. Smart play by him to commit to that guy running down lower and to find that first frag in the 1 versus 2. That's what they need. I don't know. That doesn't really give you any metric for the next round. It doesn't tell you what to do.
I mean, it could still end up with 14-1, and then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but
JW, if JW goes down here, this could be big for iBUYPOWER.
Got to build something from here. Oh, well, a tag from the AWP, but not the kill from JW. And Swag, well, he's got himself a very important kill.
See, now this is the big decision for iBUYPOWER. Do they spread it out and go ramp and secret, or do they all go the same way again?
2 men.
They got 3 people with
3 with
under
less than
20
15.
Wow.
That's not good.
And Olof still has his Molotov, so once that smoke fades, you're probably going to see him throw that Molotov around 45 seconds again, right there.
Triple Molotov kill for anyone?
Well, now what happens is, generally, every time the Molotov fades, iBUYPOWER hits ramp. So, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised to see a pop flash come from him in about a couple seconds. But see, it's like clockwork for him.
Pick up 1. And the 3 low on health players are still there waiting. And there are only 2, and you can see in the picture of iBUYPOWER just scratching their heads right now. Just can't work out what they've got to do to break this Fnatic defense, other than some individual pieces of brilliance, which is what we had from Swag in the last round. DaZeD now the last man alive. Himself 1, was 1v4.
See, and Nuke T side, it's hard. You don't know always whether to be complicated or simple with your strategies.
Yeah.
I mean, I think right now the best thing would be the old saying, keep it simple, stupid, right? I think if iBUYPOWER were to just go for some more slight outside presence and then get those picks ramp, Olof a lot of times is by himself once they throw those smokes outside, but they're never going at the right time. I think if they were to jump through that smoke at ramp with 2 or 3, they might be able to get a trade and get down lower quick enough.
Do you think they've been very predictable on ramp as well? I mean, we've watched them with Molly several times. They're just literally waiting for it to fade and going. Yeah, and it's fairly easy to predict for Olofmeister there as well. Going to get some spray down here from flusha on the outside. Did pick up 1, damaged 2 more. KRiMZ going to follow it up behind him. And every time 1 drops, there's another Fnatic player in a perfect position to take advantage of it. And there it is again. Another perfect example of a brilliant defense from Fnatic. and they lead 12-1.
Like I said, if they can't get 3 rounds here, it's going to be tough. No matter how good your CT side is, you got to play perfect if you want to come back from this, from a 14-1 that is. So.
I mean, through the years and years of Counter-Strike, we've seen 15-0s, and we've then seen them turn around to become 15-15, but they're still pretty rare.
Yep.
They don't really happen all that often. And you're kind of asking for a miracle, really. Fnatic just 4 rounds away from another title in 2014. The disappointment of ESL 1 Cologne,
Great
of course.
couple frags here by iBUYPOWER. They got one's far vent, and I don't know where the other one went down.
Wow.
Great kill. This is huge. If iBUYPOWER can keep composure right here. Oh, wow.
And again,
stay away from upper.
Yeah, stay away from KRiMZ, I think, would be the advice right now. He has been fabulous all 3 days. I know he's not maybe the player that jumps out at first glance. Maybe not the superstar power that many of the players in his team have, but he has been their best player. There's no doubt about that.
But on the contrary, I feel like, to be honest, as a pro spectating their team, I feel like KRiMZ and Olof and flusha are the pillars of this team for this tournament. I mean, JW obviously has amazing rounds. Pronax is the strat caller. All credit to him, of course. But those 3, I don't think always get the credit they deserve.
No,
They're definitely very powerful assets.
Yeah, for sure. And iBUYPOWER will pick up a 2nd round here. You never know how important these rounds are until the end of the game.
Huge.
Could be potentially massive. They've got a big job to do when they switch over, regardless of whether they win the final round here. But win the final round, and that might just be good enough.
Yeah.
Who knows? 3 on the board. Be okay with that, considering how the rest of the game's gone if you were playing in this? You get to half-time, if you got 3 now, would you be like, actually, we're all right?
I mean, you would try to say that to keep your confidence, but you also try to say it's pretty much round by round at this point. So you want to focus on that next round, that next pistol, and then nothing beyond that. And then after that, you just got to be round by round. JW here getting aggressive again. Might be able to catch AZK off guard or vice versa, depending on who peaks first.
Got that narrow gap back into lobby.
If AZK was able to throw a flash to his right and peek with it, but how would he know?
Yeah, how would he know? Oh dear. Oh dear.
Good kill. Now if he could take that ramp quick enough right now and maybe get some U-Haul control in the lower ramp room, they might be able to use that as an outlet.
Brilliant play as well. He's going to wait, be a little bit more patient, Swag, here, because he knows that they probably would have called reinforcements over to that ramp area. Although now he's pushing, and that's not going to work out because KRiMZ is waiting for him. If he only had held that ramp room, it looked like KRiMZ was going to push in there himself, but they have managed to get one man down low. olofm now going to take him out, is he? Yes, he's going to pick off Steel. And now Swag, 1v3. 22 seconds remaining. Impossible to win the round from here.
Yeah, pretty much impossible.
Impossible.
He can get the bomb planted for shits and giggles.
Or just die at the door.
Or just die at the door.
That works too, equally as fast.
Yeah, well, if he was started planning, he knows he would have just been swarmed,
Yep.
so.
13-2.5 then to Fnatic. They are just 3 rounds away from claiming the FACEIT League Season 2 title.
Was very devoid T-side there.
It was, yes. I think the iBUYPOWER fans will be indignant right now with rage at the thought that their team are getting thrashed again, because it's been 3 maps in a row after playing so well on Dust 2. And iBUYPOWER now need an immaculate counter-terrorist side on Nuke.
Sure
no mistakes. And it starts right now in the pistol round, but they've already let olofm in through the back here. And wow. I don't even know how he got in there without being seen, but he did. And KRiMZ all the way around the back here too. Skadoodle though has opened things up for the kill. flusha replying back. Lovely shot from him. Where do they go?
With a couple frags.
Those headshots from AZK, that was absurd. And oh my goodness, Swag! That's not Swag at all. That's terrible. Oh my goodness.
Big trade there though by DaZeD. They might still be able to salvage this.
Yeah, JW, luckily for iBUYPOWER, has just 25 HP. and it's now a 1v2 for the Wunderkind. Wow. Don't think I've seen Swag miss that many shots on a player who wasn't even looking at him. Never seen that before. Those moments.
And you won't see it often. Braxton is a great aimer.
Absolutely. So JW looking to try and go lower here and plant the bomb. 15 seconds remaining. Does have a little bit of time to get out there, but can't be caught up in any firefight. Oh, well, just about gave his position away, and he might as well just try and plant here. He's not got enough time to win the round, and it won't matter anyway, because Steel has gotten the first round for iBUYPOWER in the second half, and they are on their way, but they can't afford any mistakes.
We'll see if Fnatic goes with the conservative approach these next couple rounds and tries to buy in the fourth round, or if they're going to use maybe a force buy in these next couple rounds. Let's see. Looks like a
Kind of like a weird 2-3 split right now with 2 outside.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they'd be doing an upper split, but they left the bomb in T-spawn, so I'm not sure if they're just looking for picks, I guess.
I guess so. And Skadoodle not giving them the opportunity to do that just yet. Again, the opening frag of the round goes to him. He'll get a second here as well. DaZeD with the FAMAS at the back of second red, also picking up a couple for himself too. So nicely done iBUYPOWER in the second round. And just the MVP remaining here, who does pick up one. He's just such a beast today, he really is, KRiMZ. Even when he's backed into a corner, he's a nightmare to play against.
Yeah, same with flusha. I saw flusha on the last map, just stepping up big time on Inferno, so.
24 kills, 6 deaths for KRiMZ on this one. Just put that into perspective. The iBUYPOWER players with 23 for their top 2. So more than their top 2 combined. Of course, they were on T-side first half. Rush from Fnatic. Looks like it's going to be coming through Squeaky here. Nice flashes in as well. They've really caught DaZeD off guard, but he's managed to pick up one. Swag gets 2 in the middle of that. And JW, whoa, went for the dummy down
just short
low.
Of the plant there, lower.
And just about got away with it, did iBUYPOWER. I thought they were going to lose out to the bomb plant. There was never any danger of them losing the round, but they didn't want to give away the extra cash.
Yeah, it's pretty important right there, but you're still going to see the buy. KRiMZ just grabbing up.
Yep.
Huh.
Just about. No helmet, but.
I guess we'll see where he's going to decide to use that. It looks like they're all heading towards the lobby with the exception of one. KRiMZ looking for that op pick ramp on Skadoodle. Skadoodle's going to say no.
Yeah. That was. I mean. Yeah, whatever. I mean.
Yeah.
just a strange decision to do that, but. Okay.
Makes me wonder if Fnatic does know something about iBUYPOWER CT side, or if that was just, you know, neither here nor there.
It was an odd decision. But nevertheless, JW now without a weapon is going to go and get that AWP. And I wonder if he'll try his luck against Skadoodle. They've been pretty even in the battles so far in the 5 maps that they've played between each other. This one being the 6th over the 3 days. And of course Fnatic winning 2-0 in the group games. Well, 1-0 and 1-0, because of course they were single maps.
See the traditional wall of smoke coming here.
Covering the crossover. olofm though is quietly making his way back now. Managed to get one in, but are they going to go through ramp here? Yes, they are. Flash goes in. JW going to follow it. One man in front of him. They're going to try and get to the bottom of ramp, but Skadoodle shuts one man down. That slowed them down a little bit. 14 seconds remaining here, and they've got to get the bomb planted. Great work from olofm and JW down low, though. Steal up short and personal. Picks up a Mag 7 skill, and then follows it up with an AWP shot on flusha.
I didn't notice, but I think Swag got down there in the toxic room pretty early, which was a smart premeditation.
Stopped them from doing it, yeah. Figured it out, didn't they?
Fantabulous play, maybe. Is that a word?
A fantabulous piece of play. I'm going to go with it. I like it.
I'm getting a little excited here.
Even if you invented that word, I like that.
So, iBUYPOWER looks like they're going to get another round, but can't say that for sure. We've seen them lose a couple of these eco rushes, but AZK is saying no.
Wow.
I don't only like to eat
headshots.
poutine, I also like to eat some terrorist out of
Yeah. Well, 3 kills, 3 headshots, probably had 3 Weetabix for breakfast as well. Nicely played by AZK. And he's also played very well over the last 3 days. I mean, the whole team have in their various moments.
Yeah.
We've seen some great play from Steel. We've seen Skadoodle just have some mental rounds. AZK likely as well.
DaZeD stepping
DaZeD
up.
yesterday was terrific. Not quite so much in the last couple of matches, but he has had some
normally
superb
I
moments.
feel like they're relying on Swag. And it's cool to
Swag
see the
also
rest
has had
kinda-
moments where he's been fantastic. I really can't fault them as a team over the last 3 days. Not sure where that one came from, JW. Well,
that was
outside.
outside on the
Outside
warehouse.
is the obvious answer.
Yep, on top of the
yes,
red.
it was. Yeah.
Very unfortunate for Skadoodle, but Swag evening it up here and then going down to Olof Meister.
Olof Meister very, very close indeed to picking that one up. And Steel now. Big, big problem for him. He's 1v3. Bomb is down though, and he knows where it is, but he couldn't protect it long enough. Got one up against JW, but KRiMZ was waiting in the perfect position for him. And now Fnatic, have they broken iBUYPOWER's will? They haven't broken their money just yet, but lose this one, and they will have broken their money, and they'll be on match point. Massive round here for the North Americans.
And I'm not sure if this is a word either, but I don't know if Skadoodle, that peek outside was very constructional. That peek on top of red box is not something that I don't think was needed. But at the same time, I don't think you want to hold back in this situation when you're down this much. Those risks are sometimes necessary, but being on top of the red box, knowing that they have JW as an op on the other team, I'm not sure if that was good.
Well, they've got one. 4 more. Will do nicely. KRiMZ replying back. 4v4. 2 rounds away from a title again for Fnatic. Important one as they head into a very busy period of Counter-Strike over the next couple of months that all lead to DreamHack Winter and the last major of 2014. 40 seconds remaining.
Wow.
iBUYPOWER picking up another kill through AZK now. pronax going to try. He's like to try and get in here. Already suffers a little bit of damage from the grenade and has some support from behind him. Flash is coming in now. Skadoodle waiting in heaven. pronax now going to challenge him perhaps at the bottom of that. And Skadoodle is waiting patiently as well. Rips the head off of pronax with the AWP. Time running down here. Fnatic running out of time and ideas and players as well. And Swag gets the final kill. And it's a little bit of a bonanza in that last round to pick up those kills, because if they hadn't, of course, iBUYPOWER would have been pretty much on a save or a partial, and Fnatic would have been on game and championship point.
Big round there, and it almost blew my mind that AZK almost went down to Olof there with the CZ. He had the chance to pull out a CZ and took AZK down to 8 HP, but a big frag from AZK, and then Skadoodle under ladder. We see a quick ramp push by Olof Meister, but AZK is probably going to be able to take him down here.
Easy pickings for AZK. Skadoodle following it up outside with the very fast pushing JW. flusha will also meet his death to the same weapon, and Swag and Steel finish things off on up in the upper. 14-9, things closing up now. Tension starting to mount for both teams, not just the one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Fnatic's going to try here. If they're going to try a slow and steady approach, or if they're just going to keep hammering away at the ramp room. So
The Fnatic's so close now, but it's the hardest 2 rounds to get, especially when you're T-side on Nuke. No panic time just yet, though. They've got plenty to play with. 5 rounds, to be precise. pronax goes to work on what you might think, if you're not familiar with Counter-Strike, as a wall, but actually they do come through the other side.
Well, the thing is I'm not actually sure if that spam itself works anymore. I thought you had to shoot to the window,
I
the blue
thought
part.
it was the window as well, personally, but
pronax might know something we don't.
definitely works through the window.
Yep.
As Olof Meister down to 44. KRiMZ did lose 10 health, so maybe. Nevertheless, things have gone a little quiet on the western front right now as we wait for Fnatic's next push. KRiMZ tempted for upper here through Hunt, but he'll be pushed back on the basis that the smoke will stop him for now. And iBUYPOWER just can't force too much, need to wait and react. And they've done a good job of coming back into this.
Upper strat is in the making right here by Fnatic. Let's see if iBUYPOWER can lock it down.
Oh, Swag and Still start things off. Still's actually got himself a triple here. And JW now is the last man alive. Was a 1v4. Has got an AWP, so I think this will be a quick trip back to T-Spawn here.
Yeah.
And maybe, yeah, this is going to be all the way back to T-Spawn. He's not even going to bother trying to stay in the truck because it's only got 5 seconds remaining. He's got one man hunting him down. I wouldn't challenge personally, knowing that he's back there. Still cheekily tried his luck.
Yeah, I think that at first I thought Skadoodle missing that shot because he took his time even. Could have been worse, but iBUYPOWER, Swag and DaZeD and Steel doing a good job of shutting down the upper bomb site. Yeah. So 8-1 now for iBUYPOWER on CT side here. This is not unheard of for them to come back right now. I'm looking forward to see if Fnatic's going to try anything different. So far, a lot of just slow strats that don't really have a lot of intention. So we'll see if JW can make something happen right here.
Yeah, looking to their star players right now to pull something out. They know that just one round could make all the difference here, but iBUYPOWER have got their money back into check again. So they wouldn't need a recon, of course, even if they lost the one round. But it just puts a hell of a lot more pressure back on them because they would just be one round away from taking the entire match 3-1.
So we'll see, this is a big pick. Awesome decision right there by Fnatic to bait the jumper with the CZ and let JW get the pick after they identified Skadoodle's location. DaZeD going down.
Wow, this is starting to look bad here. They had improved their position, iBUYPOWER. They might just improve it here. AZK and Still replying back after looking like dead dogs in the water. Their virility has suddenly increased here, and they are at a 2v3. olofm, look at this dancing round the back entrance. Has completely missed it. I think he knows he's down there though, and AZK also picking up one. He's already got 2 in the round. Goes for the fake defuse. JW behind him. Surely Fnatic can't lose this one. olofm and JW both trying to shoot him down. AZK down to 17 health. That grenade lands at his feet as well. Does a little bit more damage, does it? No. olofm in. And Fnatic now move. Not just a match point, but championship point, and they have 5 of them.
That was almost basically the glass cannon there by Fnatic, although JW had some armor. Really, that was iBUYPOWER's round to lose there, and somehow they managed to do it. Very unfortunate for the Americans.
No more mistakes. Double AWP on Nuke, CT, Skadoodle and AZK. And Fnatic are 1 away from the title.
Great shot there by Skadoodle, looking for 2 now.
Picked up the first one. JW replies back in kind though. It's AWP for AWP. 1-1. 4v4. 4 men between Fnatic and a title.
And Skadoodle looking for each other right now. JW, if he would have hold one of these angles, might be able to get lucky.
And Swag, perfect position for the top of red. And also Skadoodle in the right place as well. Got another one, 2 to find. What looked a little bit dodgy for a moment, now looks okay again for iBUYPOWER.
Very, very sneaky here by pronax. Let's see if he could get a frag here. Nope.
Skadoodle, I think, pretty much had his number 3 in the round from him again. How many of them has he had this weekend? Well, quite a few. And AZK from the bottom of ramp pulls another one back. Are we headed to overtime in map 4? 15-11. 4 to play.
This is iBUYPOWER is probably pretty frustrated losing that last round here, but there's no time for emotions right now. They're going to stay focused and hopefully maintain their composure for 4 more and keep their tournament life alive.
And Fnatic on a 250-75 buy. With a Deagle in the mix of that as well. What are they going to do here? JW trying to make his way through. I think he was flashed. I didn't see the flash coming, but I'm pretty sure he was flashed as he went through Squeaky. and ended up hacking his way against a wall that he thought was actually a vent. Always looks embarrassing, but actually it's...
Yeah, I've been there. I've done
I think
that.
we've all been there. It does look embarrassing, but I can assure you that if he was flashed, then that's exactly why he was doing it. And I'm 99.9% sure he was flashed.
Flusha here, just taking a moment to reflect on things a little bit.
He's contemplating things, isn't he?
It's a very existential play here by Flusha. No, but it actually could be happening right now. I mean, obviously they're waiting. Fnatic, you don't know what they're saying to each other right now. Maybe they know what they need to do. Maybe they're conversing. This is always the time you take just to try to figure things out. So.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, the former in-game leader of Fnatic, Khan, was one of those players that started doing that actually at the start of rounds. He started just ignoring pistol rounds completely and keeping them all back in
the
team spawn. Yeah, eco rounds. He would literally just keep them back in spawn, not really do too much, and they would just use the time to talk through what they were doing wrong and make some corrections, and it worked great for him. I didn't see many teams doing that before he started doing it. Flusha trying to save this AWP now with 5 seconds to go. Looks like he should be able to get back to T-spawn, and he will do exactly that.
Yeah, you know, Karn was standing behind these guys for a little bit. Pronax maybe have a little Patrick rubbed off on him. That would be awesome. Karn was one of the great leaders of his time and really knew how to control his team and their emotions.
One of the other things I noticed about this weekend is that Devilwalk is not actually here. He's not behind the team.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They got a lot of events coming up. I don't know if with all the travel this was lower on their priority list, but Fnatic looking like they're not really hurting without him.
No. Apparently he's in Australia.
Devilwalk. Oh yeah, that's right. They're getting a promotion. Flashy Fnatic.
So 15-12, Fnatic 1 away. iBUYPOWER needing all 3 rounds to go to overtime. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. But it's still a big ask. But they have the advantage of the side. Almost have an advantage of men right now as well. Now they do. Still confirms the advantage by taking out KRiMZ. DaZeD replying back with a lovely little shot in upper. They've absolutely cleared Fnatic out here. Only pronax remains. And he's dealt with easily. And iBUYPOWER move to within 2.
Great hold there by DaZeD and Swag to get a couple frags. Skadoodle there for the support as well. Fnatic's going to go on brief save here. Did just buy a scout? I think he did.
Yeah. 1 scout, 1 CZ, 3 250s. And, well, iBUYPOWER.
He could try to get the jumping shot here, but I'm not sure if...
easy.
Not gonna work.
Absolutely easy for Skadoodle. No problem at all. And that's the scout gone as well.
But, yeah.
I don't know if they can get back out there and pick it up. Yes, they can. So JW now with the scout, but Skadoodle's got himself 2 in the round already, with 2 rounds left to play. Oh, Swag nearly got caught out there. Actually didn't lose any health in the end, but that looked a bit harsh. Well, that's probably the easiest AWP shot AZK is ever going to get in his life. KRiMZ coming through the smoke, had absolutely no idea there was anyone behind him. And so JW now 1v5, easy for the Wonderkind. Easy to die.
Easy to die. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about that one, but final round of the half here.
Last round, round number 30. We've gone all the way through Nuke, and it comes down to 1 round. iBUYPOWER, though, do have the advantage here, Jordan, of CT side, and they're going to use every second that they can possibly drag out of this round.
This is iBUYPOWER's round to lose once again. Fnatic's showing here. They got a couple Molotovs. They're going quick on the outside.
They're going to use them on the outside here as well, just to try and limit Skadoodle. Flashes have gone in towards that area as well, and it's basically because they wanted to try and get down low very quickly. They have managed to get 2 players down there. Flusha's going to lead the line all the way downstairs, and are they going to try and go in here for the quick plant as well, is what I was going to say, but no, they aren't, because the bomb is not with them right now. Bomb is with Olofmeister, who's following them.
They're trying to control the rotations right now to see if iBUYPOWER is going to drop down those vents, see what's going to happen.
Effectively. They're trying to bait them, aren't they?
Close shot there by AZK. That could have been huge for them if he was able to get that pick. Now they're just going to get the bomb in the lower. JW here, key player, cutting off the choke point.
Huge round. Massive play here from Fnatic. No one hurt on either side, and bomb is now planted. The last 35 seconds of the FACEIT 2 LAN Finals, Season 2 Finals right now for Fnatic. If they can hold on to the bomb plant with 5 men, make that 5v3 as well, as Steel comes back in and replies on one. KRiMZ though picks up another. It's a 4v1 now, and Swag will go down to flusha. And Fnatic are your FACEIT Season 2 champions.
Wow, great play by Fnatic there to basically change up the pace of the whole half right there. Get outside quick, very limited smoke grenades, use that Molotov to push Skadoodle aside and get down lower.
Brilliant round in the end from Fnatic to wrap things up with a 3-1 win over North America's iBUYPOWER. They look disappointed, the Americans, but
Great
I have
try.
to say, they've brought a fantastic game, and they've reached the final when everyone wrote them off. Everyone said they had no opportunity to get even out of the group stage, let alone reach the final and put up such a great opportunity for them to play in a final in Europe for the first time as well.
Yeah.
We expected actually you guys to do better than iBUYPOWER, but it's flipped round.
Yep, and as much as I love to hate those guys as our rivals, kudos to them for playing well. They got a lot of skill on their team, and they've had trouble utilizing them in the past. And I think this tournament they decided to flip a switch in terms of loosening up some of the roles there. And Skadoodle had a great tournament, and that's one of the key things for this weekend to look at. DaZeD as the strat caller is playing excellent, and those are things they're going to need to keep up. We're going to
have you guys learned something from the way they've adapted and played against the European team? Because they have been quite scrappy, haven't they? They've not quite so rigid as perhaps we've seen them in the past.
Well, yeah, and I think we kind of have something opposite to learn. We've been bringing almost too loose of a style to this weekend, and LDLC shut us down with their composed structure. So on our front, we're going to have some things to test going into USWC next week.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, not just today, but also on the previous days
Thanks
as well.
for letting me cast.
Always a pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you very much to all of the players that have helped out on the desk as well. But for now, let's go back to the analysis desk with Sir Scoots.
Thank you, Red Eye and Jordan. Nothing Gilbert. So, kind of as expected, Fnatic did exactly what they needed to do the first side, and actually iBUYPOWER, kind of almost did the exact same thing, one round away. But that round, where they went against the Opper and the 4 pistols, that was theirs, and it ended up being Fnatic's, obviously.
I'm sorry, about halfway through that map when I realized the camera's on Skadoodle the whole time, and we watched for like 15 rounds and he didn't open his mouth once. I couldn't focus on anything else, so I kind of missed the game. I was just waiting for that one moment that he would just tell someone where he killed an opponent or where he saw a terrorist move, but after not seeing him speak for an entire half, I mean...
It's one of those scenarios, you know they say, like, be careful what you wish for. He's my dream American player, right? He's from North America. He hits really clutch shots. He's got a big game, and he doesn't run his mouth. But unfortunately, like I say, you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk at all.
He doesn't talk at all, which again, in this game, you need to, to be...
Especially on CT side of Nuke, that's all communication.
And when you die, you've got to let the information go.
I mean, that was just insanity. When I go home, I'm going to have to go through some of those VODs where they have the camera on him because he's always sitting on the side, and to see if he's always like that. Because, I mean, that just like, people told me he doesn't communicate much. I figured, like, he's just not the best at that. You have to sometimes ask him for information. Well, clearly either the person who sits next to him, I think it's Steel, either he communicates everything for him, or they just never know what is going on his screen, which is insane. Like, I just can't believe they've actually beaten good teams if they have one player who doesn't speak.
To me, he was the main reason they got back in that game, because none of the Fnatic players could match him with the AWP. They were JW was trying over and over and over. They couldn't do anything. He was just always picking them when they went outside. Really clutch, like passive play, actually. Usually he's quite aggressive with it. He was really good, I thought, that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Skadoodle in terms of his skill. Like, he's incredibly skilled. He's very good with the AWP. He hits so many crazy shots in this series, too. But he just, I mean, just the communication part is just a little, like, that's an extreme that I've never witnessed, ever. Like, I never even heard of anyone.
Yeah, and I heard that Swag is also really, really, really quiet, too. He's the other one. So, like, 2 guys not being communicative is not really... in this game especially, not good. Not good at all. They got to fix that. And again, credit, like obviously we're giving them some grief here. They did lose. But nobody, probably not even them, expected that they would truly get to the finals.
No.
And let alone get that close. I mean...
almost went to 5 maps.
Yeah, almost went to 5 maps.
The map actually did play out kind of how we set it up, okay. So on one hand, in theory, iBUYPOWER have much more experience on Nuke. But Fnatic, it was all down to the CT side, and they did it. They got so many rounds. You see there, if they'd have even gotten 2 less rounds, they probably go to overtime or they lose that game, actually. But they got enough where they had the buffer, and all they knew they needed was 1 or 2, and then, yeah, they got kind of a bonus with that free round where they had the AWP and the 4 pistols. You can never expect that would happen, but when they were on the T side, yeah, they didn't really have any tactics. That's been their problem all along, but especially on this map, they had no executes whatsoever. It was just the slow walking in and dying again. But overall, you can see here, there was a difference between Fnatic and iBUYPOWER in this series. There was a skill difference. There was just a difference in terms of team cohesion. And for me, okay, everyone sees JW, even on that map there where he had that crazy sequence where he was killing the guys as they were coming in and he was like above on the vent. Looked really crazy. He had knives earlier in the series and he was hitting crazy shots. So I think the fans will say, because of his flashy play, oh, JW was the MVP. But to me, there was a clear MVP in that series. And it was a player who was crimsonally underrated.
Nice, exactly. I was just saying the same thing, KRiMZ for sure.
JW is a lot of flash, but I'm not sure if that much fire. I mean, he's by far the flashiest player on that team, but I mean,
the problem was KRiMZ was just grinding consistency every round.
That's what KRiMZ
kills.
always does, though. Like KRiMZ was by far the best player in that series.
Agreed.
Take out KRiMZ, put in another like very good Swedish player. I think Fnatic loses.
Just want to that very last round. Like I was trying to rack my brain when it was going down. I don't know the last time I've seen a 5-on-5 and the bomb is down.
Yeah,
nobody
full
dead.
Full health on everyone. Not just nobody dead, like full health. Not 1 hit point
The
gone.
funny thing is, though, if you think about it, if you're like, in hindsight, that was actually a very good strategy to call because nothing had worked for Fnatic. So here's what happened. iBUYPOWER had a dual AWP setup. So they just rushed outside, secret, got down, and as a result, you know those 2 AWPs are going to be really slow to rotate. They can't just, the guys who are in those positions, they can't just go straight down vents, or they can't go straight down behind you. So actually, it's probably the only scenario you could ever get the bomb down like that with all 10 players alive.
I mean, that was a very good call by Fnatic, like you said. The only thing is, had iBUYPOWER played that setup where Swag was down by Secret, where it was earlier, and he got a couple of kills from there, if they played that setup, Swag probably kills both of those T's running down. They win that round. So, I mean, it was a very good call.
Also, because Skadoodle had been so effective picking them outside, you saw when he was in the back of the garage, the warehouse outside, they just threw a Molotov in the middle of there. So if he'd been over this side, he couldn't have peeked round, and he actually happened to be trapped over here, so he couldn't get round to even shoot them at all. So they got down a secret for free. They were never even spotted by anyone. So it was kind of a Hail Mary play, because actually, think about it. If Fnatic had gone to overtime there, knowing how badly their T-side had gone, they'd have had all that pressure that they'd have had to win all the CT rounds. They'd just given up a huge lead, so actually that could have really shifted it back to iBUYPOWER. So it was a Hail Mary, but it got Fnatic over the finish line just, and then deserved win, obviously.
That round where JW had that up, and they had 4 P250s, that round was like such a classic way for an American team to lose. That it was like almost an exact replica of those save round wins they got on the first day here when they played iBUYPOWER. Both maps, it looked like they were headed down and they won a save round. That was basically the same thing there. iBUYPOWER would have been down 13-14 at the time, but I mean, they're a CT side. I actually think iBUYPOWER would have won that map had they not lost that JW op round.
To me, though, that was the difference between some of the best teams here. Like, for me, Fnatic and LDLC, the thing they had over everyone else was, okay, if Cloud9 had played a gun round really well, if iBUYPOWER played a gun round really well, they could hang with any of these teams. They could beat them on the rounds. But LDLC and Fnatic always had something extra on the ecos. Like with CZs or with scout play, they could always make like something out of that and get back into a game when you're supposed to lose those rounds and just try and get some kills, you know. That was what separated these teams to me.
Yeah, and something to just add, not just necessarily here, but even as far back as CSL1 Cologne, I felt like Fnatic are probably the best team in the world at playing anti-ecos. They're very good usually, and not getting taken down by scouts and CZ, so that also plays to their favor there.
But also, this final here, the reason why coming into it might sound like we were down on iBUYPOWER, like it's going to be very hard to win, they have to win this map, otherwise it's over. It's because if this had been a best of 3, then, although they actually wouldn't have won by how the maps went, but okay, they'd have had a chance though, because some of these maps were close and they won the first map. But to win a best of 5 like that, it was always going to be very tough because you had to be so well-rounded. You had to be good on maps that you don't usually play, or you had to be good on your 3rd best map, which is what we're going on with Nuke here. Like, it was always going to be very, very difficult to win that series.
Yeah, and again, like, you have to give them props. Again, like, they've never been out of groups before in a European event.
Here, I had this stat before I put on Twitter.
Gfinity, sorry.
Stat I put on Twitter yesterday was this is actually the first North American team to ever make the final of a European event in CSGO. It never happened before.
There you go.
Cloud9 had never done it, Quantic never did it, iBUYPOWER never did it. They were the first one to ever do it. So yeah, big props for that. That's an accomplishment in its own right. but to go a step further and beat Fnatic over 5 maps, it's too much to ask.
Yeah, agreed. Again, well played by them. Obviously, super well played by Fnatic. They take home $20,000. iBUYPOWER, $10,000. And we've got Red Eye standing by on the stage to walk us through the awards ceremony. Take it away, Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Scoots, and also to the other 2 panelists on our analysis desk, Mr. Thorin and Lurpis, of course, and also to all the commentators that have taken part over the last 3 days. Welcome to the FACEIT 2 Intercontinental Finals for Season 2 prize presentation. And in second place, a team who had no chance, according to our experts, coming into this tournament. The first ever North American team to reach a final on European soil in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, winning $10,000 in the runner-up spot. Please welcome iBUYPOWER. Well done to iBUYPOWER. Second place. And 3 million FACEIT points. Well done. I think they are actually going to give you the dollars, though. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. And that leaves one team. They were struggling a little bit on day one, but they got through without defeat. Yesterday they were excellent in the semi-finals, and today they have shown why many people consider them the best team on the planet. The champions of the FACEIT Intercontinental Finals for Season 2 are Fnatic.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, Red Eye. Nice little ceremony there. Nice troll by FACEIT to give them FACEIT points instead of cold hard cash. Not very nice of them. I imagine they'll do right and give them the real money. So just want to get some final thoughts from you two gentlemen on the tournament. And then looking forward, we've got 3 really solid tournaments coming up after this. Most of these teams will go to Esports World Cup. A couple of them will go to the FragBite Masters. And then obviously the big major coming up, DreamHack Winter. Start with you, Dump.
I mean, there was so many teams in this tournament where some of them newer lineups, we were unsure of what the storyline would be. Like, okay, Fnatic proved themselves to be very consistently good, actually. It's very rare they ever actually gave up a map or anyone looked like they had a chance to beat them, so their level very consistently high. LDLC, on the other hand, were really up and down, actually. It was always hard to tell, like, would they dominate a team? Would they leave it close and someone could come in? Like, they probably on paper should have made the final here, but in the end they didn't. iBUYPOWER were able to defeat them. I actually feel a little bit cheated from that because as soon as I saw those 2 lineups set, Fnatic and LDLC, I've been wanting to see them play a series the whole time. And they've been in the semi-final on the other side of 2 tournaments now, and they've both not managed to get to the final at the same time. So I'm still waiting to see that. I hope I see that at a future tournament because that will be a hell of a matchup because the sort of skill matchup is similar, the maps that they're good on are similar, and then obviously another storyline for the tournament has to be iBUYPOWER because most people were expecting this team's like on the way out. Like they're on their last legs. Get what you can from your last couple of tournaments, and then who even knows if this lineup will see 2015, you know. But the best result of their tournament, their careers really, because I'd put this tournament above ESEA in terms of competition level and status. So they're the big results for me in terms of the overall tournament. And then if we want to throw one out there in terms of someone who didn't do so well, Dignitas did not show up at all. This is a team who's finished top 4 of the last 2 majors, top 4 at Gfinity. You'd expect them to be a strong team. Like underdogs aren't going to beat this team. That was the good thing about them. They only lost to elite teams, but here they never showed up at all. And that's a team I'm really wondering, will they make it to the next major and have any impact at all, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to see how these teams continue to develop. Like you said, we have a couple events coming up. We have ESWC next weekend, FragBite Masters Finals the week after, and then obviously DreamHack Winter, the next major, at the end of November. So, I mean, this just makes the upcoming events a lot more interesting too, because now you have more things to look for. You want to see if Dignitas can just come back. I mean, they've gone out of groups 2 tournaments in a row now after being probably like the most consistent team in the world prior to that. iBUYPOWER, all of a sudden, you can no longer just write them off. Now you have to wonder whether they can be making the playoffs, maybe the semis at an upcoming tournament. So it just brings a lot more storylines, makes it a lot more interesting. And also something to consider is Virtus.pro. We've talked about them before, but I mean, their result here was not very good. Their play, very weak in terms of just watching them play. Didn't look like they really had a chance in too many games that they lost. So they're another team to look out for and just see if they can get out of their little rut.
Yeah, if you look at the upcoming tournaments, because like we said, there's 3 in a row, okay? The teams to really look for is, okay, at the top end, you want to see like, Fnatic and LDLC are both so highly ranked and so good, they have a chance to sort of swap the #1 spot between each other depending on who wins the tournaments. They're battling out to be the best, but there's 3 really good teams of the past, Dignitas, Virtus.pro, and NiP. These teams have to get results here, otherwise that like elite status is gone. Yeah. They're potentially going to drop right off the radar. So on both ends of the spectrum, you really have teams that we consider potentially great teams that have a lot to prove.
Can we expect the new HalfLifeTV.org like top 10 probably after DreamHack, you think? Are you going to wait till then?
No, I think we're going to do our ranking after FragBite Masters. We'll have a nice little break then, and then I feel like that'll be a good time to clear the air sort of where everybody is coming into the major. Because then, I mean, after the major is over, you already know who's the best.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to have that info before.
That's the one that's going to decide where everybody is. So I think it's more interesting to do the ranking before the major and try to figure out where everybody belongs. So that's when we'll try to do it.
That'd be great, because then we'll have that storyline at the major to talk about.
Okay, Scoots, I'll come in and I'll scoop up that traffic. I'll do the Thorin ranking right after this event. Stay tuned, guys.
You actually should start battling top 10s. So one final thing from you guys. Where can, if they're not familiar with your work or don't always know where to find you, where can they find your guys' work? Because you're obviously very prolific in the scene. You are very prolific in several games. So where's the best place to find your information and your content?
First of all, if they've never heard of me or my work, like shame on you, or welcome to the internet. Go to Google, it's like a browser, put in twitter.com/Thorin with 3 O's.
3 O's.
Because, you know, there's like 2 O's in good, there's 1 O in God, and I thought we'll put them together.
Oh my.
3 O's in Thorin.
Oh my.
So Thorin, 3 O's. Same for Facebook. I've got a Facebook fan page. I put all my work on there. I've just got a YouTube, Thorin with 3 O's again. That's where you go. And I'll be around. Listen, people will be retweeting offensive things I tweet. Like, you'll see me around, guys.
Oh, yeah. What about you?
I mean, my Twitter's right there on the screen, in the middle, at the bottom, lerpis_. And I tweet what all my works basically, but hltv.org is the website that I work for, or you're going to be finding my writing.
Great. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for helping me here at the desk. Awesome, guys. That being said, we're a wrap here. I would like to give a couple shout outs and thanks myself. Obviously, first thanks to FACEIT for having us here and throwing the tournament. We know there were a few issues here, but they resolved them after day one. We moved forward to an amazing finals. Big shout outs to Niels, the technical director, the one-man band behind all of the production. Guy's actually a rock star. Our actual observers were Katie and James.